2019. Will you please rise with me and say the Pledge of Allegiance?
Oh, I'll try.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Could I have a roll call, please?
Chairman June Perrin.
Here.
Vice Chair David Leland.
Here.
Commissioner Ross Schillingford.
Here.
Commissioner Charles Plummer. Commissioner Ray Nazareth. Philip Marquise, alternate 1.
Here.
Adam Miller, alternate 2.
Here.
Thank you very much. Can I have approval for the minutes for the previous meeting, please?
I'll make a motion to approve.
And a
I second.
second, please?
I second, yeah.
Philip.
Philip?
All in
Yes.
favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Say aye.
Aye.
Good. All opposed? All right. No opposed, so the motion carried
carried
5 to
5 to
0.
0.
Thank you.
Would you like to swear in?
I can, yes. All of our hearings tonight, the testimony has to be under oath, so if you're going to be speaking on an application, if you can raise your right hand, and I'll swear everybody in. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Great, thank you. Madam Chair, you can call the first item.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, item number 1 on the agenda is the applicant is seeking architectural approval to repaint the exterior of 7 existing buildings at 100 Fairway Lanes by agent Denise K. Davis of Fairways of Royal Palm Beach Homeowners Association.
Thank you, and this is a quasi-judicial hearing, so I'll ask the commissioners if anyone has any ex parte disclosures that they need to make.
No.
Great, thank you.
Thank
The
you.
applicant is here as well, Madam Chair, so once Kevin's done, she's available for questions.
Thank you.
Okay, the process pursuant to section 2-75-24, parent 7, the Planning and Zoning Commission shall review architectural and design features for proposed development as set forth in sections 2-75.25 through 2-75.29. The Commission shall consider the compatibility of the proposed color with those of adjacent structures and the resultant harmony of the area in which the change is proposed. The Commission's recommendations regarding proposed paint color of all exterior components of a building or change of same shall be final, subject, however, to an appeal to the Village Council, which must be filed within 10 days of the Commission's decision. Colors shall be harmonious. Bright or brilliant colors are encouraged to be used only for accent. So, having said that, the application is for the Fairways, which is highlighted in blue. It's at the northeast corner of Royal Palm Beach Boulevard and Country Club Drive.
Sorry, we're not seeing the presentation.
Yeah.
If you click on your presentation button, sorry, it should pop up for
Which
you.
is the presentation button?
There's a little gray
Little
box.
gray box.
Oh, presentation, okay. Oh, there we go, good, thank you.
Everybody got it? Okay. So the site is highlighted in blue. There are 7 existing buildings. 2 of them are older buildings and 5 of them are the newer kind. The colors scheme is shown on the monitor. And the 5 newer buildings will be painted in the manner described on the elevations or photos. Blue, B is for blue, W is for white, and then the I is for icicle. So the elements that stick out further are going to be the blue on the newer buildings, and then the rest of the building will be icicle, and the trim is going to be white, as well as the doors and garage doors. And on the older buildings, the blue is going to be in the recessed areas. The icicle is going to be on all the other portions. Again, the white is for the trim and the doors. Village staff is requesting a recommendation for approval of application 2022-112 AAR as submitted. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them, and the applicant is here as well.
Thank you very much, Kevin. I know the applicant is here. Would you like to make any presentation or any comments regarding this? Okay, thank you very much. Are there any comments from the public? Seeing none, I'll ask the commissioners, are there any questions from the commissioner? Commissioner Ross?
No questions.
Okay, Commissioner Phillip?
No.
Commissioner Dave?
No.
And Commissioner Phillips?
Adam.
Adam, okay. Okay. No questions at all? Since there are no further questions or comments, can I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion that we approve application 18-112 AAR.
Thank you. Can I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor of the motion? Aye. All those opposed? Motion passed 5-0. Thank you very much. I should take more time off once in a while, you know? I know what I'm doing. Okay, application number 2, public hearing to consider and make recommendations to the village council regarding application 18-104, an application by Schmidt Nichols and adoption of resolution number 19-2, confirming council action. The applicant is seeking site plan notification and architectural approval for a 7,875 square foot church or place of worship situated on a 1.22 acre parcel of land located at 660 Royal Palm Beach Boulevard by agent Josh Nichols.
And this is also quasi-judicial, so I'm asking the commissioners if anyone has any ex parte disclosures that they need to make.
Oh, no.
All right, thank you.
Okay, a brief history. The subject property is located at 660 Royal Palm Beach Boulevard. According to the Palm Beach County Property Appraiser's Office website, the first building was constructed on the property in 1960. Over the years, other buildings were added, and the most recent site plan was approved by Village Council on April 17th, 1987. Process, Section 2632F5, site plan review applications required for all development applications for 3 or more single-family units, multifamily units, commercial and industrial structures, and all other structures proposed to be developed in the village except a single-family home or duplex. There are some criteria that the site needs to meet for the zoning district. The parcel size, the site is 1.22 acres in size and exceeds the minimum area required for the single-family residential zoning district of 8,000 square feet per lot. Parcel width, the property is over 236 feet wide and exceeds the minimum parcel width of 80 feet. Setbacks, the existing buildings meet the required setbacks for this zoning district. Pervious area, the existing site plan provides 54% of the site as pervious area, which exceeds the minimum pervious area requirement of 50%. The parking requirements, the parking requirement for the existing church or place of worship is 30 parking spaces, and 30 parking spaces have been provided, of which 14 are grassed parking spaces. Landscape areas, the applicant is providing landscaping which conforms to village landscape requirements to the greatest extent possible in accordance with section 15-3B3. Maximum building height, the buildings are existing and are single story and less than the 32-foot maximum height limitation of the zoning district. So they're going for site plan approval, architectural approval, landscape, and not paint color at this particular time. Under the architectural and design features, the commission shall provide for architectural and aesthetics review with final approval authority when such structures are being renovated, and no other approvals would be required by village council pursuant to village code. The commission's final approval is subject, however, to an appeal to village council, which must be filed within 10 days of the commission's decision. Architectural designs and features, the commission shall use the review criteria set forth herein when reviewing and considering architectural designs and features. The commission shall make recommendations to the village council regarding architectural designs and features other than color presented to the commission. The commission's recommendation regarding architectural designs and features other than color shall be advisory only. except as provided in subparagraph A1 above. So the commission shall use the review criteria found in Village Code Section 2-75.28D. Architectural style is not restricted. Evaluation of a project should be based on quality of its design and relationship to surroundings. Structure shall be of proportionate size to be in harmony with permanent neighboring development, and components such as windows, doors, eaves, and parapets shall have balanced proportions in relationship to one another. Colors shall be harmonious. Bright or brilliant colors are encouraged to be used only for accent. Design attention should be given to mechanical equipment or other utility hardware on roofs, buildings, and at grades so as to screen them from view. Exterior lighting shall be part of the architectural concept. Fixtures, standards, and all exposed accessories should be harmonious with the building design. And monotony of design in single or multiple building projects shall be avoided. Variety of detail, form, and siding shall be used to provide visual interest in multiple building projects. Variable siding of individual buildings may be used and is encouraged to prevent monotonous appearance. Having said that, the site is located at 660 Royal Palm Beach Boulevard, which is just on the north side of Seminole Palms Drive and east of Royal Palm Beach Boulevard. As stated, the structures were started to be constructed on the site back in 1960, and the most recent site plan was approved by Village Council in 1987. And they're seeking architectural approval, site plan modification for the existing church. The applicant is proposing changes in order to update the site plan and bring the site into compliance with Village Code to the greatest extent possible. The proposed site plan changes include adding 16 paved parking spaces and drive aisle, adding grass parking, adding a new driveway connection to Royal Palm Beach Boulevard, adding walkways, and adding interior and perimeter landscaping. The site consists of 1.22 acre parcel that is located in the RS2 zoning district. The applicant is also seeking architectural approval for the landscape plan and sign. And they have supplied building elevation drawings, sign drawings, and a landscape plan. So the site plan is shown up on the screen. The parking spaces closest to the building are the paved parking spaces. The parking spaces adjacent to the neighboring property are grass, and there is one grass parking space along the driveway that connects to Royal Palm Beach Boulevard. They also have a circular drive that allows for drop-off at the church. So the landscape plan, they're adding considerable landscaping to the existing site. They'll be adding royal palms along the southern border, I believe it's a 15-foot buffer, or actually it might be 5-foot buffer along the east side where it's adjacent to other child care uses in the park. And they're adding some foundation plantings as well as roadway buffer plantings. In addition, this is, if you recall, this was before you probably around a year ago. This was the approved elevation at that time. They were going to put stonework, and they were going to keep the existing pillars and paint them the same color as the rest of the building. However, they have decided not to add the stonework. They removed 2 of the pillars and replaced the remaining 2 pillars with a different design. They also replaced the support structure. Currently, those are painted gray. Village staff has got a condition of approval recommending that they be painted to match the rest of the building as previously approved, because when you drive by, it just doesn't look right with the gray. So, and signage is subject to the requirements of Chapter 20. The following elements of signage shall be considered. Signage shall be made compatible with the adjacent structures. There should be harmony in texture, lines, and masses. The height and scale should maintain spatial relationships with adjacent structures and the right-of-way. And lighting should enhance the signage, but excessive brightness and brilliant colors should be avoided. So, having said that, the monument base is existing. They're proposing to put a new panel on it, reading faithchurch.com chapel. and the address, and they are going to be providing a 5-foot wide landscape area around the sign base. And these are the dimensions which meet the existing variance that was obtained for the sign base. Having said that, village staff is recommending approval as submitted with the condition that they paint the pillars and the header that is holding up the porch. And there was another condition of approval I wanted to note, that all wall pack lighting that has not been approved shall be removed prior to the issuance of any building permit. And per section 2349 of Village Code, the grass parking shall be used for parking on an irregular, intermittent, or part-time basis. The grass parking surface shall be maintained in its entirety with a visible turf cover at all times. The Village Council approval for construction of the grass parking area shall be valid for 3 years, at which time the village may determine whether or not the grass parking area continues to meet the minimum requirements of Village Code. At that time, the village may require the restoration of the grass parking area or the permanent paving of the parking area if it is determined that the grass parking area is not being maintained in accordance with Village Code. So again, village staff is recommending approval with those conditions. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Okay, thank you very much, Kevin. Is the applicant here? Would you like to make a presentation?
Good evening, John Schmidt from Schmidt Nichols, agent for the applicant. I don't have a presentation for you tonight. We do have our team here if you have any questions. Just the site alone is getting over $113,000 of upgrades put on it. We're in agreement with the conditions of approval and ask for you to move us along tonight. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Any comments from the public regarding this? Okay, any comments from the commissioners? Commissioner Adam, any questions, comments? Commissioner Dave?
No, I'm just full agreement with what staff has said, and it's nice to see improvements, so thank you.
Commissioner Phillip?
No
Nothing?
comment.
Commissioner Ross?
Yeah, a couple of quick comments and a couple of quick questions. So it's good to see, very happy to see that we're actually putting in not more than the minimum required parking spaces, and that they're not all being paved, because, you know, I've had that concern before where we end up with parking spaces that are hardly used and they're paved, and I think we can all agree that we have way too much asphalt and concrete in this world, and we would do ourselves a service by kind of scaling that back a little bit where we can. So I'm really glad to see that, and then the landscaping is great. There's a lot of landscaping going in, so that's awesome. Quick question, so was it the applicant's idea to grass the parking lot? Or how did that come about?
The code provides for the ability to request grass parking. Originally, when the church was originally approved, it was approved, I believe, with all grass parking. And over the years, it became just rocks and dirt. So it wasn't being maintained as grass parking. And when they got it granted, there was a unique condition that it was only for that user, and if they changed users, that the grass parking went away. So they did some significant improvements to the church building, and that triggered other code requirements for them to come into compliance to the greatest extent possible.
Okay, great.
But
Great project, thank you.
just to add to that, the current village code does allow up to 50% to be grass parking for churches and synagogues. So when they came in, we worked with them on that, because it is currently allowed to have up to 50%. It's very common for churches to have grass parking, because those spaces, as you said, aren't used all the time. They're usually used at the heavy use times on a Sunday or Wednesday night, or whenever the services are going to be. So it was kind of a joint effort with staff and the applicant to come up with what would work best for that site. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I would also just like to comment that the sign you're going to put there is a much nicer sign than the one that's presently there. That's very nice. I do agree with Commissioner Ross regarding the trees, the improvement, and keeping our environmentally areas, up to date with that. We are a tree city and like to keep it that way, and less parking and less concrete. And the building's really looking nice. I've watched you work through it day by day and week by week, so a continued improvement looks very nice.
Yes, Mr. Rubin's doing a great job.
Yes, okay, good, thank you so much. Ray, I asked him.
If he has any questions, ask Ray if he has any questions.
Ray?
Ray's
No.
not here.
Yeah, Ray's not here.
Or Philip, I'm sorry.
It's okay, trying to confuse me more. Philip, do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
Okay, thank you so much, yeah, I have enough problems as it is.
Just trying to check you. So very intense.
Thank you very much. Since there are no further questions or comments, can I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve application number application number 18-104.
Can I ask a question? Do we need to make improvements with these other things that you put in there regarding the painting and the lighting and the grass parking? Remember, Kevin?
Typically, staff just tells you those for information purposes. If you do a recommendation of approval, those conditions automatically get forwarded to council. You have the ability to be that specific if you want to include those conditions, but your recommendation of approval, they go up to council with those conditions.
Okay,
It's
good.
assumed.
All right, thank you
you.
very much. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you very much. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passed 5-0.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'll be watching those pillows.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, agenda item number 3. The applicant is seeking architectural approval to modify the approved architecture for several buildings, modify the landscape plan, and enter features including signage for the Crestwood North Planning Unit Development PUD, situated on 154.10 acres parcel of land located at 980 Crestwood Boulevard at the northwest quadrant of Crestwood Boulevard and the M1 Canal.
And this is quasi-judicial as well, so I will ask the commissioners if anyone has any ex parte disclosures that they need to make.
No.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I'm going to cover the next 2 items in my presentation because they're basically intertwined and very interrelated, so.
Let me ask then if anyone has any ex parte disclosures on the next item, which is the site plan modification. Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Kevin.
Okay, so the site plan and AAR, a brief history of the property. The subject properties are located at the northwest quadrant of Crestwood Boulevard and the M1 Canal. The subject site was assigned a single-family residential land use designation on January 16th, 2014 through the adoption of Ordinance 893 by Village Council. Village Council approved a site plan for a 385-unit single-family planned unit development through the adoption of Resolution 1534 on November 19th, 2015. The on-site recreation site plan was approved through the adoption of Resolution 1625 and Variance Order Number 1610 by Village Council on March 16th, 2017. The process pursuant to Section 2632F5, site plan review applications required for all development applications for 3 or more single-family units, multifamily developments, commercial and industrial structures. Also, the scope of review required for architectural and aesthetics review includes architectural design and features, landscape plans, and paint color. Architectural design and features, the Commission shall provide for architectural and aesthetics review with final approval authority when such structures are being renovated and no other approvals would be required by Village Council pursuant to Village Code. The Commission's final approval is subject, however, to an appeal to the Village Council, which must be filed within 10 days of the Commission's decision. And the Commission shall use the review criteria as set forth herein when reviewing and considering architectural designs and features. The Commission shall make recommendations to the Village Council regarding architectural designs and features other than color presented to the Commission. The Commission's recommendations regarding architectural designs and features other than color shall be advisory only, except as provided in subparagraph A1 above. And architectural, well, we just covered this on the last one. so I'll skip that for brevity. The site is highlighted in blue. It's the former site of this village's former wastewater treatment site. Currently, Lennar is constructing a 380-foot, 5-unit development. And as stated earlier, the applicant is seeking architectural approval to change the architecture of the clubhouse, guardhouse, mail kiosk, bus shelter, and entry signs for the Crestwood North PUD, also known as Bella Sera. The applicant is proposing to change the architectural style of the above buildings to the transitional architectural style. The applicant is proposing to relocate one of the project entry signs, which was formerly going to be in this lake on the island. They've moved it forward to closer to Crestwood Boulevard and the entrance to the project. The applicant is also seeking to change the architectural design of both the entry signs and increase the size of the signs. Architectural lighting is also being added to the signs and entryway landscape areas. In addition, the applicant is seeking changes to the landscape plan along the entry road and Crestwood Boulevard. The applicant is proposing changes to the previously approved landscape plan in order to change species and quantities of certain plant material. These changes are related to the relocation of the entry sign and due to certain plant species not being available in sizes and quantities to meet village code requirements. The applicant has provided updated elevation drawings for the Commission's review as well as color and material samples. In addition, the applicant has provided a detailed narrative describing more fully all of the proposed changes, which are provided within the justification statement in your package. So the new sign is shown on the left side here. It is, like I said, larger, and one of them is being moved closer to the roadway. And then also they are proposing changes to the recreation area. They've relocated the hot tub or spa closer to the building to meet health code requirements. And there's some minor changes to the landscape plan as a result of that. There's changes within the lake area on that island due to the fact that it probably part of the year will be submerged somewhat during the rainy season. And again, changes to the entryway. They're going to beef up the landscaping behind the sign. And again, there were some species around the entryway that they were not able to obtain in the quantities and sizes to meet village code. So those changes are also in there. The site plan changes are basically to reflect the movement of the sign and the change to the landscape plans, as well as the clubhouse. And then the rest of the changes are primarily architectural, relating to landscaping and the building elevations for the common buildings and the signage. And village staff is recommending approval of the proposed changes. And there are some conditions that are we're recommending. The developer/HOA shall be perpetually responsible for the maintenance of the landscaping in the west and south buffers in between the two fences adjacent to the Saratoga Pine development. And the pervious area requirements for each lot shall be as established in the table on sheet RP2 of the revised site plan package. These pervious area requirements are to ensure compliance with the terms of the South Florida Water Management District permit issued for this project, since the zoning district regulations in the RS3 zoning district are less restrictive than the South Florida Water Management District permit requirements. So having said that, I don't know if I mentioned it, but they're also adding some sliding gates in order to better maintain the landscaping that is between the two fences between this project and the Saratoga Pines development to the south and west of the development. So having said that, village staff is requesting a recommendation of approval. I'm happy to answer any questions, and the applicant is here as well.
Okay, thank you very much, Kevin. Hello, how are you? Would you like to make any comments or presentation?
Just very briefly, again, Jennifer Vale with WGI, agent for the applicant, Lennar Homes. As Steph has indicated, we have a few amendments before you this evening. We were here back in October for the approval of the transitional style architectural elevations for the homes. And again, we're carrying that theme forward through a lot of the common elements. So a result of the movement of the signage is really the implications of the site plan changes and landscape changes. If you have any other questions, be happy to answer them.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any comments from the public? Seeing none, I'd like to ask Commissioner Dave, do you have any comments or questions?
No.
Commissioner Adams, any comments or questions?
I do not.
Thank you. Commissioner Phillips, any comments or questions?
I notice there's no sign there now, right?
No signs yet, as we're waiting approval before they are installed. We had prior approval for a different style of a sign. It was more of the Spanish architecture. When we changed the theme of the homes, we wanted to match all of the common elements. So the entry signs have not yet been installed, awaiting approval.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Ross, any comments?
So
or
the
questions?
signs that are going in, the entrance signs are in compliance with the village code. They do seem very large. There's a graphic that shows someone standing next to it, but does comply.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank-
no other comments or questions.
Okay, good, thank you. I also see they have in here a change, architectural change to the bus shelter. Is they gonna-
Yeah, that's the on-site bus shelter.
Oh, for in the development itself? Okay.
Inside the development.
Okay, good, thank you. Thank you very much. No questions at all. I just want to let you know, you guys are moving very fast over there. Every time I go down, I see more homes.
As fast as we can go.
People have moved in too already.
They moved in already? Wow,
People have.
wow, okay, good for them.
It's sold over 80 homes already.
Oh, wow. Can I have a motion on this, please, on application number 3?
Motion to approve application number 18-0057.
Thank you, and can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you very much. All in favor?
Aye.
All of those opposed? Motion passed 5-0. Do we have to have a separate approval for?
Yes,
Okay,
please.
can I have a motion on item number 4, please?
Move to approve application number 18-0058.
Okay, thank you. Can I have a second, please?
I'll second.
So, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion passed 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All the best. I'll be coming over to look at the models.
I have no models.
Huh?
I don't have any
I know,
models.
I'll just go in there and look at the little pictures in the place there, you know?
So we're adjourned.
Can I like to adjourn the meeting, the planning and zoning meeting? Thank you very much, and everybody have a good month. Thank you, we're adjourned.